Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Greg Gregorian. I'm the CEO and founder of Lunar Branding, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about impressions and how to maximize your marketing dollars so you're actually not throwing them away when you give away merchandise at trade shows or to potential clients when you meet them. So I'm going to use a pen as an example because everybody loves pens. It's a common item and it's familiar to everybody. And just like Wolf of Wall Street, I'm going to sell you this pen. So let's get into it. I'm using these 4 pens as examples, 2 poor examples and 2 good examples. And the reason I'm using these is because I've traveled with 4 of these pens equally. So they've been in my bag through the plane, Ubers, the whole 9 yards, back and forth from the office. And it's a good comparison tool to explain to you the importance of quality when it comes to an impression. So an impression is every time somebody looks at your company name, your company logo, even your name, that's an impression, right? So when it comes to your marketing dollars, I want you guys to start thinking of spending your marketing dollars in accordance with how many impressions you're going to get, not so much just on, how expensive per item it is, okay? Right? So let's say these pens are in the dollar range and these pens are in the $2 to $3 range. So 2 to 3 times more, you may say like, wow, that's really expensive. I don't want to spend 2 to 3 times more. Maybe you're wanting a quantity amount. You want 1,000 pens and you say my budget is $1,000. Okay, and you don't want to spend $2,000 to $3,000. Totally get it. I understand. Maybe reduce your quantity to 250 or 500, right? So your budget still stays within that $1,000 range. Maybe you have less amount of pens and you're going to think, well, I won't be able to get as much of a reach. And I promise you it's not the case because you're going to get more impressions out of high quality pens as opposed to a lower amount of impressions from lower quality pens. And here's how. So everyone knows, if you don't know me, I used to be former Army. As you can see from the background, I'm a retired captain. And I'm going to dog on the Army for a minute with their promotional merchandise right here. So this pen I got, I think from a recruiter, and I traveled with this, and it's already broken. It used to have a clip here. It's a twist pen. It's plastic. It's got a stylus. I can't even keep it closed, right? It doesn't work. And let's say if someone at an event had to fly in a plane and they got 2 impressions out of this. So you paid $1 for this pen, right? This didn't work so well. Even this one, right? Everyone wants to save the environment, which I'm all for, right? But maybe use a different quality material for this pen because look, it's bent here. I can't put this back in and use the pen properly. And again, let's say these pens are, about $1 per pen, and you give them out to at the trade show or whatever event you're at, and the first impression somebody gets is when you hand them the pen, like, oh, cool, U.S. Army, right? And they put it in their bag and they go fly or take a Uber or a bus or some form of transportation back to wherever they're going. This pen in their bag gets smashed, right? And the second impression they get out of it is when they throw it away because it broke. Because now they have no more use for this. They can't use it. So you just essentially paid 50 cents per impression. So $1 per pen. You got 2 impressions. That's 50 cents per impression. That's really expensive, okay? But you got 1,000 of these pens go out. You got 2 impressions per those pens. And now you got 2,000 impressions for $1,000, right? 50 cents per impression. It's really not worth it. Put those aside. Now, I'm going to give you some other options to choose from, right? This pen right here is my company name, Lunar Branding, on. It actually lights up if this is in the dark. It's got a stylus just like the other one. It's got a clip just like the other one. It's plastic with a rubber grip and a twist just like the Army pen, right? And maybe this one costs $2 or $3. And maybe you still want 1,000, so you're going to double or triple your budget. But this pen may last all year, like this metal one as well. This one's almost indestructible. It's a click one, right? Laser etch right there. My name's on it. It's got a little clip. Simple, okay? But it's metal. It can transport well. So maybe the person uses it till the ink dries out. Maybe that is an entire year. Maybe they use it once a day for an entire year. That's 365 impressions for these pens. So if the pen costs $2 and they got 365 impressions out of it, you essentially paid half of a penny. That's 0.005, half of a penny for an impression as opposed to 50 cents. Now you tell me which one is more expensive. The dollar pen at 50 cents per impression, the $2 or $3 pen at less than a penny. I'm talking like half of a penny, maybe 0.08 if it was a $3 pen. Whatever, I'm just throwing out numbers just to give you an example. Okay? Now, I want you guys to keep that in mind for all the different merchandise you're looking to have represent your company. I promise you, it's worth the extra investment, because if you spend a little more on high quality merchandise, or even stay within your budget but buy less quantity of items but higher quality, I promise you your company name, logo is going to circulate more amongst whoever you give it to, your potential clients. And if that pen sits on their desk because it could withstand the travel, and they're working and they see the pen, and they're going to see your company like, oh, boom, I know who to go to. So when I give them a pen, oh, Lunar Branding, every day, Lunar Branding, they use the pen. Who do I got to get merchandise from? Oh, Lunar Branding, I'm on the top of their mind. And your company can do the same thing. So I hope this video helped you out, guys. I know it's some simple math, a simple item, but just think about it. And if you guys have questions, reach out. I love to help people out and help maximize their marketing budgets and not throw away money and have it just be tossed in the trash because they thought a dollar pen would be cheaper than a $2 or $3 pen. But think about impression, guys. Hope this helped, and take care, and I'll see you in the next video.